You can sing this next song about anything at all.
Welcome, any and all, to the Monday edition of Dreaming in Paradox. I'm your host, John Olson.
And I'm your host, Jose Venutolo.
And this week we have with us Caroline Marico Stuckey. You can find her on Facebook. She has a director page under Caroline Marico, right?
Yes.
And her Twitter is at Caroline Marico.
And she's the first girl on the show.
Yeah, she's our first female guest.
Yes.
She is a fellow filmmaker,
That's correct.
like ourselves. So we'll be talking mostly movies this week. So if you like movies, hang around.
Always a nice topic.
Always a good topic.
Oh my God.
One that we can go on and on about.
And on and on.
And on and on and on. So, all right. So Monday is sort of our getting to know our guest day. So our topic for the day, should we just get straight to the topic?
It's good to talk about me, but like, do you want to
Yeah.
say something that you want to introduce yourself or probably pronounce your name properly? Because
Okay, so I'm Caroline Marico Stuckey, also Caroline Marico Stuckey in French.
The French.
I apologize for my accent and for Jose's accent too,
Yes.
in case you don't understand some words.
A show with lots of fun accents.
That
on
is
it.
correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
But I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
It's good.
You know.
You're from Switzerland
I am
originally,
Yes.
so that's the accent, right? It's a
That's
Swiss,
French accent.
French,
I
Swiss
think.
accent.
That was mine. That was mine.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll put it here so it doesn't.
Talking about
doesn't-
Switzerland, I have a little present for.
Oh, you have a present
we
for
get
me.
gifts.
I think I know what that is. I think I know what that is. Oh my God,
my
you
goodness.
found them.
Yeah, I
Oh
found
my
them.
God.
And I found
These.
them.
Oh, thank
they're
you.
all for Jose?
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
yeah,
I will
let's
share
share.
it. I'll share them with
Oh,
you.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll
What do
share
we
them
have
with you.
on the show. This is, how do you pronounce it? It's just
Larmes de Whisky.
Larmes de Whisky.
It's teardrops.
So
Teardrops.
it's chocolate
Filled
with
whiskey.
whiskey in it.
Yes.
It's Jose's favorite.
Thank you very much. Oh my God. Oh, I'm
You
so.
probably don't know at this point, but Jose is a bit of a whiskey connoisseur.
I'm kind of like, well, I'm a drinker.
He's
Obviously.
he's knowledgeable about whiskey.
Yes, I'm learning a little more
in
every
particular.
day.
If I ever need a whiskey recommendation,
Definitely. And you actually asked me.
I did. I recently was at a wedding,
Yeah.
and there were a whole bunch of whiskeys. And I was
Yes.
like, I should try one.
Yes. You
So
should always try a whiskey, especially
So
if
I
they're free.
consulted Jose about that.
Mhm.
That's really cool.
This is really cool. I went to Switzerland last year and I found these. Actually, my wife found this chocolate at a gas station that we were in Switzerland, and it was filled with whiskey. So I tried it and I loved it. I mean, it got me a little drunk driving because like you drink these things like it's like a full glass of whiskey.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't find it.
Don't eat chocolate and drive.
Yeah, don't eat chocolate and drive.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't find it anywhere else. Like we went like only at that gas station close to the border with Italy, and then I couldn't find it anywhere. And then she went to Switzerland like a couple of months ago, and I gave her a picture of because I kept the package, and now I got 6 of them. Thank you, thank you very
No,
much.
That's amazing.
Yes,
That's
They
really
were
cool.
hard to find.
they are.
Actually, no. Because when you showed me, I never seen them before.
Mhm.
I think it's not for tourists, but it's definitely a little harder to find them.
It's a well-kept secret. It's a
yeah.
well-kept secret.
Yeah.
I mean, best kept secret in Switzerland.
But also, again, you are from Switzerland, but you are half Swiss and half Japanese.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That's a fun.
That's
It's
a
a
fun
fun
mix.
Yeah.
That is a fun mix.
Especially with the fact that my parents met in California, so it's kind of
Interesting.
like
Oh,
midway.
via California.
Yeah.
It was like
So-
midway, mid like in the.
That
They
is
met in the middle.
Pretty close to the middle.
They met in the middle.
Because the
Yeah.
Pacific is about
It's huge.
the width of both the Atlantic and America.
Yes.
Because it takes about the same amount of time to fly to Japan as it does to France.
Yeah.
So
they met there.
that's
That's really cool.
That's cool.
That's really cool. That's really interesting.
yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have dual citizenship?
Yes, I do.
That's cool. But you don't have the American?
No.
That's a pity. So if they'd had you here, you would have had Would you have had
Three.
three?
Yeah.
That's
Is
so
that
rare.
legal? Is that legal?
It's got to be.
You will be
Yeah,
an
I mean-
international woman of mystery.
Well, I
That's
have
how
a
they call
friend who
spies.
has 4 passports, so
4
yeah,
passports.
that's,
Don't
if
say
I
his
have
name.
3, no,
Don't say his
no,
name.
no.
Not on.
I'm not gonna say that.
Don't get him in trouble. Don't get him in trouble.
4 is a lot. I don't know. How does that work? How do you get?
Well, I mean, her. Like, I'm not gonna say her name, but
No,
I'm
don't
gonna
say her
say
name.
her nationalities. She has the Japanese from her mother, French from her father, who also has the Swiss one, and she was born in America. So
Oh, so she gets 2
Interesting.
from dad.
my dad, yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, and you know what? Like, because Switzerland is not part of the EU,
No.
isn't it? So then, literally, it's like she has 4. Because if you are French and Italian, it's just the same. It's like at this point, like you're part of the European community.
Yeah,
so it
you
doesn't
can
matter
just
which
go
one. But if
anywhere.
you're Swiss and French, then you're European community. Swiss and then Japanese and American. It's a good combination.
She has the.
It's a pretty good
pretty
combination.
good, passports.
It's cool.
But I could have an American one if I married an American.
An American
So.
Oh, there you
could
go.
happen.
Like Jose.
And like me, but
Yeah.
yes, not American.
Find
I mean,
a-
technically, it's
Your
a continent.
wife's an American.
I know, but it's a continent. I was born in the continent of America, so I am by extension an American. I'm
Yeah.
not a North American part
You're
of the
not
United
a North
States.
American- Yeah, yeah.
It's it's a little, it's
You're not
tricky.
the States of America.
It's tricky. It's tricky. You know
Yeah.
that my country was founded as the United States of Venezuela.
Oh no! So you are United States.
Yeah, like it was a pretty common name back in the day. People was like, oh, let's just call
Oh, we've
this
got a few
the
states.
United States.
They work together.
They were united, so let's call it like that. It's true. It happens.
Makes sense.
Let's jump to the topic.
Yeah. So, given your background, it should be. I think we'll all have somewhat different stories on this. We just wanted to talk a little bit about why you decided to go into film. Like, what made you take the jump
Yes.
to go into film? Because it's an interesting business, as you know.
Uh-huh.
So, if you wanna kick us off.
Sure. It's funny because it has to do, I think, with the fact that I am mixed, and I started to speak very late.
Mhm.
That happens a lot to children who has parents from different countries. So I started to speak around 3 years old, which is kind of late. But I spoke French, Japanese, and English at the same time because my parents speak English together, and I always had a problem with language. Like
Mhm.
I wasn't feeling comfortable speaking a language or expressing myself. And when I got my dad offered me a camera, and then I started to make family
How old
amateur
was this?
films. I was actually around when I was 17, 18.
Okay.
It's
Oh, okay.
pretty late, maybe,
Okay.
for some filmmakers. But and then I showed that to my friends and to my family, and then people loved it, and I felt like this was my way of expressing myself, not like speaking or writing so much, but like making a movie.
So when you got the camera, was it pretty immediate?
Yeah, it was
was like-
really immediate. I was like shooting and editing every day after that.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. So you found something you loved, you didn't know
Yeah.
it was there, and then
Yeah.
suddenly you were introduced to it,
Yeah.
and it just
Yeah,
So-
expressing.
Did you come? Because we all went to the same film school, right?
yes.
We
Correct.
didn't go together, but you did go to our same film school, and you guys originally met through there.
There.
So
Yes,
did you go
correct.
like straight out of high school, or did you go to school in Switzerland first, or
So
how did that work?
Well, so first, another thing is that my uncle was working in film, and he had all those VHS cassette tapes.
Okay.
Some people will not
Yes.
know what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, some people will not know.
More and more.
Yeah. But so I started to watch a lot of films, and I could go to the cinema for
Mhm.
free with a friend, a guest. So when Independence Day or Titanic came out, I would go see the movie 10 times because I would have 10 friends asking me to go with them because they could go for free.
Nice.
So I was watching a lot of movies growing up, and then I had the camera, and then I started late really to develop that passion, like making movies. So I went to film school when I was 20 years old.
Okay.
Nice.
So
You did screenwriting, or you did directing?
I did filmmaking and screenwriting.
Filmmaking and screenwriting. So you're a writer too.
Yes.
Got it.
Now, yes, I developed that.
Nice.
What about
Actually, we met because a producing teacher of us, Nikki Ellen, she was doing like the practice of the pitching of the film, and then I was at school that day, and Nick saw me and said, "Would you mind coming in and then just with me hear her pitch, and then just give her because you're an outside perspective. We didn't know each other back then, and then after that I found it fascinating." Eventually, we might talk about it if you want to, and then we just stayed in contact, and then we worked together on a film that you wrote, a short film that you wrote,
Yes.
and then from there on, it's just like friendship, propinquity.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it is happening. That you probably don't know, but propinquity, it's a common word in this.
It's a favorite.
It's a
word
favorite
on the show.
word. You wanna explain it to her?
Oh, are we doing it again?
I mean, because she doesn't know what it is.
Have you seen any of the episodes where we talk about propinquity?
I don't, not that part.
Not that part?
Yeah.
It just means that people who are in close proximity over an extended amount of time develop feelings for each other.
Oh.
So,
Friendship,
yeah.
like it
So on
doesn't
the
have
show,
to be. Yeah,
as we film the episodes,
exactly.
the love grows.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
correct.
Say it again,
Propinquity.
the word propinquity.
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 Yes,
Hashtag propinquity.
yes.
What about you, Jose?
What got me into film?
Yeah.
It's well, I mean, I've always been connected to film. Like some of my earliest, happiest memories had been watching something and how I connect to it. And this is why I'm a fan of things like Ghostbusters is one of my all-time favorite films. Back to the Future is one of my all-time favorite series. Indiana Jones and stuff. Because when I was a kid, it was the sense of adventure like Ghostbusters actually resonated more with me. And actually, it's the earliest memory that I have of me actually being on my parents' room and watching a film. Okay. And as I grew up, film was always the way in which reality will just, take a time out. And then while I was on a film, I figured that I started noticing that everything else disappeared. It's like all that it was the story, and it made me feel good. And then life was outside waiting for me when the film finished. And I never actually considered it a career when I was back growing up in Venezuela, because it wasn't an industry that you could get in and actually make a living out of it. So I went for engineering, which in Venezuela, if you want to make a living, you are a lawyer, an engineer, or a doctor. Right. And I remember I told my father, it's like, I want to go for political sciences or philosophy. And he told me, like, you're going to starve to death in this country. So you better just do something that on the side. Yeah. Long story short, because there's more to it. After failing in college and not being able to graduate as an engineer, I went back home and started working as a assistant manager in construction companies, like complete different spectrums. And then that job actually led me to the opportunity of a sponsor, of a person sponsoring me to study filmmaking in the United States. And then I took the leap at 28 years old. Like, I started late.
Yeah, late.
28 was when I got the chance.
What was like? Was there a moment?
Yeah, there was like
that tipped you.
Yes, I mean, it's like when somebody who has the means comes to you and a little tipsy or something tells you that they're proud of the way that you have been working with them, or they see some potential in you, and they ask you what nobody else had asked you before. So like, if you could do anything, what would you do? And I was even surprised, and my father was even more surprised when he didn't even take a conscious effort to say, if I could do anything, I would do film. I would be part of the film industry. And then this person said, if you do it right now, I will pay for it. I will make you go wherever you want to go and pay until your studies are done and you are able to get a job, and then you keep going. That is my gift to you.
Seize the opportunity.
And then I seized the opportunity. That is like till that moment, I never considered anything in this being an opportunity, and then I took it.
I also waited a little while, not quite as long as you did, but it was similar. I had a similar feeling where it didn't feel viable. I always saw film as kind of like a legacy industry, and to some extent it is. You know, you see a lot of filmmakers who've been around that like they had family that were in the industry that kind of gave them a leg up, or they had money, or I always thought it was this kind of thing. Like it was this idea that not just anybody can be a director. Like you have to have either the connections or you have to have money to do it. So I didn't ever really seriously consider it that way. I think that to some extent I always knew I wanted to be an artist of some variety. Mostly like my early career wasn't engineering, it was writing though. So I went to school, I was an English major, and I still write, I like writing a lot, but it just kind of like, it kind of hit me that one, writing is sort of a lonely profession, especially if you do it full time. I knew that I wanted to work with people, and beyond that, like with an English degree, at least in the States, it felt like the only thing I could do was be an English teacher. You know, you get an English degree, a lot of writers are teachers. It's like, and they'll do that as their bread and butter until they can get published or, you know, as a supplement. And I didn't want to be an English teacher. So I kind of like, after a couple of years at college, I like took some time to reassess, like what do I want to do? And I knew that like I like collaborative work. I like project-based work also,
Yes.
where like you build something and then it's done, and then you move kind of to the next one. And I took like these like they had like these tests where you put in things you like and it'll spit out a bunch of possible careers. And like producer came up as one. I think director might have even come up. And I remember having a conversation that will like always kind of stay with me with my stepmom, RL. And I was like telling her kind of what I was telling you, where I didn't feel like it was viable to go into film. And she just was like, but like when you watch a movie and the credits go by, look how many people work on a film. Like you see 100 names at least on any given film. And it was just like, it was just the push I needed, I think, to like tip me over the edge to like, okay, let's give it a shot. I had done some stuff with camera earlier in like high school, like with friends on like VHS camera. I wish I had those tapes. I don't know what happened to them. They're probably floating around. They're either in the trash or they're floating around in somebody's attic or something like that.
Yes.
I kept them for I had them for a couple of years, but then I lost track of them when I moved, as happens.
That happens with tapes, yes.
Yeah, so, and those were just very silly, like kind of sketch comedy type things. Nowadays, they would have gone up onto YouTube.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
But this was, maybe YouTube was around, but I didn't know how to use it. I wasn't
wow.
using it. It was still early. Like, when we filmed these things, I hadn't heard of Google yet.
Interesting.
Like, that's kind of, to give a time frame. So, like, and I had friends in high school, other friends who were more into film. So I had some experience with it. But it was just something like, I feel like I just needed a little push to be like, people do it. People can do it. So then I went to film school, and I've been making it work more or less.
It's so interesting because I can find points in my life in which I had that push. You know, like do you have anybody in your life who at some point you needed, and then they told you something, a parent, a teacher, a father figure, a mother figure that said something, and then
to push me to pursue my dream.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have parents who support me in what I want to do. Like, they're not like, oh, you're never gonna make a living in filmmaking, don't do it, you're not gonna. They're like, if that makes you happy, do it. And I think that's really.
I had very few people tell me like, it's a bad idea.
But you had people telling you
Oh, it is
that
a
was
bad
a bad
idea,
idea.
but
It is a bad idea.
It's
It is a bad
it's not
idea.
an
you
easy
still want
life.
to do it. It's not easy until
It's
you make
true.
it. And but you know,
Are your parents artists? Any of them?
My dad isn't. Maybe my mom is in her way of life.
More
maybe,
inclined
yeah.
towards it?
Yeah, she.
Yeah. But not for a living?
No, not for living.
Interesting.
She's,
So you the first in your family?
No, artist maybe. I mean, I know my Japanese grandfather was a great calligraphist.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
But my sister inherited from the drawing. She's an amazing artist.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But she pursued another career. And I think
It happens.
yeah.
Art's another one that's tough to
It
make
is.
a living off
It is.
of.
Yeah.
Any kind. Any
Yeah.
kind.
Yeah.
You have to really be prolific. You have to do it. Just a lot of output, I feel like.
Even when today it feels more permissible. Like in the past, it was more like, and depending. I think
I feel
again,
like it's just as hard to get in.
It
though,
is.
because now there's more people than ever.
correct. There's more
So
competition.
You have to be better than ever
Yeah.
Yeah.
to really set yourself apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like the quality bar has to kind of be high, and that kind of goes for anything in the arts.
It does.
You know, consistency and quality are always going to be important.
Yeah.
And people. There's still a lot of people out there that do not acknowledge art as as a proper way of making a living. You
they're
know,
like, oh, you're
it's
an artist. That's not a
it's like
job.
what is that?
Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's most of the time it doesn't pay, but enough. But I think that's it's also what I think the fact of making it is making us happy, and we wouldn't change anything. It's not for the money. It's for
Yeah, I mean, you
passion.
want to be able to keep a roof over your head,
Yeah.
Yes.
but it's like I didn't get into it to become rich.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's the wrong.
That's like hitting the lottery, you know.
Yes.
If
That
you
can happen in any business.
in any business.
Yeah,
in
it
any
can happen in any
business.
business.
But yeah, you do it because you love it,
Yeah.
and if you love art,
Pursue it.
try it out, pursue
Yeah.
it. It's not easy, but if you love it,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's enough.
it's it fills you in. It just like it's food for the soul, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, and maybe you won't do it for the rest of your life. Maybe you cannot make a living out of it, but that doesn't mean it has to be alien from your life completely. A person can do side art, like can do. It's a form of expression, Like sometimes if you're not good with words, then maybe you're good with images, or you're good with
Yeah.
good drawing, and then that's the way. It's just you say, that you express yourself.
Yeah, like most of the people in my family, I don't think anyone else does anything art for a living. But, if you look closely, they all do artistic things. They have outlets,
Yeah.
creative outlets. And that's, it's important. A lot of people just do it kind of as a hobby, whatever.
Which is okay. Which is, you never know what can happen out of that. Like
It's true.
sometimes you are a hobby, you're good at it. Somebody notices and go like, just show the world.
Yeah.
And then now is the time to show the world. Like YouTube, as you were saying, like it's like anything you do
Possible.
goes viral. Like like it's something you do something you're doing it for fun. Most of these videos that go viral online, they're doing it for fun. They're not doing it because they want them to go viral.
Yeah.
They just do fun,
Just
have fun with it,
happens, yeah.
put it there, and people start
You
liking
can't
it.
force it.
You cannot. You cannot. You can try.
You can't
Yeah.
manufacture it. Like, yeah, you can try.
You can try, but
you can't manufacture it. If you look at anything that's gone huge, like it's very rare that it's someone like extremely established. There are the exceptions, like I guess Taylor Swift will put out a video.
Yeah.
But like think of like Justin Bieber went viral just randomly. He was nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like Psy went international with Gangnam Style. Just kind of like, how many K-pop singers do you know?
I know.
I know. I can name one.
Name why you already did.
And I just did, right? But yeah, it's incredible. And it's like you just put yourself out there, and sometimes people find it. And I think we were all just kind of looking. I think in film in particular, we're looking for a way to connect to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
You want to think that what you're doing, people can connect to, and I think that's a big part of like why
that matters.
why you even
to
want to
cer-
do it.
That matters to a certain point. Like it's
Well, if you see a movie that connects to you, like
It
we
feels
talk about,
good.
like it tells you you're not alone. You know, that
Yes.
there are people like-minded.
you-
It tells you, you know, it gives you something to relate to, that like maybe you didn't know anybody personally who could relate to you in a way that like you can relate to this movie. And that's a very magical thing.
You mentioned like I wanted like you mentioned Psy with Gangnam Style. I'm gonna take that as an answer, like because I want to know like what viral video do you remember right now? Like if I ask you about a viral video, you mentioned Gangnam Style. Do you know about a video that connected
That
with
was
you? That you go like
huge.
There are like babies videos that go viral, like Charlie.
Charlie?
Did you see the one where the big brother, he must be maybe 4 years old, he puts his finger in his little brother's mouth, who's maybe a few months old, and he bites him. Oh, Charlie bit me. He's, you know, like,
I
it's
think
so
I've heard
cute.
of this.
it's
Yeah.
with, like,
It's
because of an
viral,
accent.
like, it was of course on Facebook.
What makes
But
you
YouTube.
what makes you like, you know, like some of these videos are not even
It happens.
intended to be funny or anything. They just like a family just thinks, oh, my kid is cute, I'm gonna put it on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then suddenly the entire world
There's like that
agrees
one with
you.
the kid who's like coming home from the dentist office.
Yes, and he's all
And he's like, "Is this real life?"
yes, that's crazy
Yeah.
because he's
still coming off of
the
the what's it called, what do they call that, Novocaine.
yeah.
Novocaine, yeah.
I don't know if it's Novocaine or not, but it was
It's something. It's
sort
something
of,
that they used to numb
Yeah,
him a
that's-
little,
Yeah.
and then he's just experiencing.
God.
And then he asks his mom, "It's like I feel weird. Is this gonna go away?" And then you're just laughing at this kid who's experiencing that for the first time. There is this. You seen the Batman dad, the guy that wears like half a mask of Batman, and he just speaks with Batman's voice.
No, I haven't.
yeah.
And then it's brilliant. I mean, I'll show it to you, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then there's things like how animals eat their food, which like has like 1 billion views or something like that, and it's just at 30, it's like
Yeah.
a meter and a half.
I know. I'm always so jealous.
Crazy.
I'm like, all I gotta do is film a baby, and then
Yes, I mean you have to have the baby first,
Or a
but
cat.
or a
Yeah, or a
cat.
cat.
I'm sure
Or-
with some of your videos also.
I mean, I
viral.
should get
He does
into
have a
like,
pretty
like
popular
like
dog.
we should do something with TBP and then hashtag TBP,
yeah.
and
Stands for
maybe
Turtle
we
Bat Pig.
maybe go
In
viral.
case you don't
So
know.
we're
I know,
hitting
I know.
we're
You know.
hitting we're hitting the
Just in
27th,
case.
so we need to start.
Yeah. So we have sort of adjusted the format, in case you didn't know already,
Just a little bit.
to make the show a little bit shorter. Makes it maybe a little bit more consumer friendly, digestible, a little easier for us. So if you liked this episode, if you like Marico, if you like us, like it, share it on whatever media of your choice. Subscribe on YouTube. Still trying to get to 500.
Yes.
500
Some milestone.
subscribers.
Help us.
Yeah, we
Help
need to
us.
reach that milestone. It'll just make our lives in promoting the show a lot easier.
On top of the fact that making somebody happy makes you feel happy,
Yeah.
that will make
And
us
you'll
feel
make
very
us-
happy.
You'll make us very happy.
It's like you're like you want to be closer to heaven, just click subscribe. It takes a moment, just a
All right.
simple thing.
I
It means a
think we-
lot.
Put it out enough.
Just
Um,
like it,
Yeah,
follow, share.
yeah. All those
Share.
good things. All the
Share.
buttons. Just
All the
click
buttons.
all the buttons.
Click all of them.
If Facebook ever actually implements that dislike button, don't hit that one.
Yeah, don't hit this.
I really
the
hope-
green ones, not the red ones.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Exactly.
correct.
The subscribe button is red though.
Oh, it's red.
So
Okay,
careful.
so
Oh, that's the only
subscribe
red.
Just
Yeah.
hit the
That's the
buttons.
only red one.
All right. You can follow us on Twitter. I am at John in Paradox.
And I am at Jose in Paradox
And I am at Caroline Marico on Twitter.
on Twitter. So,
You want to take us out?
yes. So, friends from the future, invisible friends from the future, we'll see you tomorrow.
Adios.